started. So I've got like water bottle and I'm using a dressing gown like strap, but you guys, if you find like a towel or just anything that you can put between your hands, we're going to do some shoulder rotation stuff in a little bit, but we'll start just with some breath work. So let me make this big. So finding yourself in a comfortable seated position, whether you're on a chair or on the floor. I'm on the floor and I'm in crossed legs. You could also take the soles of your feet together as well into like a butterfly kind of butterfly shape, just however feels comfortable for you. And today we're working on the heart, the throat, and the head and neck, so the upper body. Last week we were working on the lower back, so taking the backs of the hands to the knees. You can close your eyes and start taking some deeper, slower, fuller breaths into the chest. And as we're focusing on the upper body, I really want you to feel the heart and the ribs expand and open as you inhale, and then a conscious drawing in of the ribs as you exhale. And the more you get really used to connecting with the physical body, connecting it with the breath, you can start to feel the breath rise up, right up to your collarbones. So we're not just breathing into the chest, but we're bringing the breath right up high into the very top of the chest as well. Great, then gently blinking open the eyes. We'll start with our shoulder engagement. So this is really great to keep your shoulders strong for handstands and for aerial and pole when you don't have the equipment. So we want to take hold of your bottle, hands on either side, and you want your fingers to be relaxed. So try not to grip super hard, shoulders down. And then as we inhale, we'll lift the arms up above the head and try and pull the shoulders down as the arms are as straight as they can be. Shoulders nice and down, and you're squeezing inside your armpits. So this should actually feel like quite hard work. You should feel heat building in the shoulders. Then we'll lower our bottle back to shoulder height and pull the shoulder blades back towards one another, trying to squeeze in between the shoulder blades. Shoulders down and relaxed, but engaged. And again, rising up. Don't let those shoulders travel up to the ears. Keep them set and keep them strong. And one more time, we'll lower our bottle down, and I'm really pulling my shoulders back. Great, release your bottle to the side and roll the shoulders up, back and down. Trying to make big circles with the shoulders, as big as you can. And as they come back and down, squeezing them together. And again, up, back and down. We'll inhale, I'm going to shuffle back a little bit. Inhale, lift the arms up. Find I've got prayer above my head. And then take one hand down. You can either place that hand on the floor or come all the way down onto the elbow. And we're stretching over to the side. You're also trying to turn your chest up. Inhale, rise. Find prayer in the center, and then exhale to the other side, and either stay on the hand or come all the way down. And then again, trying to turn the chest up to the ceiling. Fab. Inhale, coming up. Interlock the hands and take them behind your head, and you're going to press your elbows out to each side. Open the heart center forwards and look up to the ceiling. And then reverse chin to chest, elbows towards one another. And open. And reverse. Release the hands back down onto the knees. We're going to come to stand to do a few neck rolls and spine movements in standing. So however you come to stand, gently bringing yourself up, and we'll do some side stretches. So similar movement as we had on the floor. We'll inhale, lift the arms up, and you want to hold on to opposite wrist with the hand, and then lean yourself over to the side, creating this lovely, elegant shape. Shoulders down, lifting to center. Switch hands, exhale to the other side. And again, you're trying to pull the elbows back, pull the shoulders down, looking up. Inhale, center, and again we'll interlock the hands behind the head, and maybe try and take it a little deeper into the back bend now, and you can press the back of your head against your hands. Exhale, chin to chest, elbows towards one another. One more time, inhale, heart open, lift the gaze, turn to the side so you can see. Exhale, release the hands and take them all the way down. And we're going to get our strap, whatever you're using for your strap, and we're going to do a stretch called dislocators. So sounds a bit brutal, but it's really not. You want to start with your hands pretty wide, holding on to your strap, and start with the strap down low, so by your hips. And as you inhale, you lift the strap up above the head, and then without bending your arm, try and take it all the way back behind you. So this is why your arms have to be really wide at first. So if you find that you have to bend one or both of your arms to get the strap over your head, then take your arms a bit wider. And if you're not feeling any stretch at all, take your hands a little narrower and try there. Now, if you find that no matter how wide you take your hands, you can't take the strap over your head without bending one or both of your arms, just get to the point where one or both of your arms has to bend and wait it out and just stretch it out there. We'll do a couple more, either rotations or staying in the stretch. And then we'll pause with the strap above our head, pulling the shoulders down. And then take one hand down to the side, so you're making like a flag shape. So keep that shoulder down, both shoulders down. Back to center. Exhale to the other side, shoulder down. Back to center, and then with the strap above your head, take a little back bend, looking up to the strap above you. And then we'll exhale, release the strap, and just shake out the hands a little bit as they've been up in the air for a bit of time. So Feel like you're flicking water off your hands, flicking dirty water. And as you're flicking your hands, just visualize yourself flinging anything that does not serve you, any negative energy, just flinging it away from your body, releasing it. Nice. And then we'll take the hands together and rub them together, creating some nice friction and some heat. And then take both hands over your heart center, so not touching the heart but just hovering. Close the eyes and take a deep breath in and feel the breath filling your heart space. Exhale through the mouth with a sigh. We'll do this one more time. Inhale, breathe air into your heart space. Exhale, release with a sigh. Nice. Release the hands and we'll start to work a bit on the neck, on the throat. So we'll take one arm up to the side of the head and you can press that other arm down to get more of a stretch through the shoulder. And I find that flexing your hand also makes it more intense as well. And then turn to look down at your armpit. Feel the stretch move to the back of the neck. And then release, take the second side. So again, if you flex this hand, push it down, you can get more of a stretch. Then turn to look down at your armpit. Release the hand, let the head come back to neutral, and we'll just do some rolls with the head. So chin to chest, ear to shoulder, head back, other side. And again. And then take the head in the other direction. Great, release the head back to center. And you're going to just bend the knees and place the hands on the fronts of the thighs, and we'll just do some cat-cows in standing. So dropping the belly, pulling the shoulders back, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale, rounding, looking towards your belly button. Pull the belly button in. Inhale, arch the back, create space. Feel your heart center shining forwards. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. And we're going to take this in a circle. So head and hips moving at the same time. And just rotating the head and the hips around, moving the spine. And then in the other direction. Great. Keep the knees nice and bent. We're just going to go for a quick forward fold. So knees generously bent, wrap the hands around the elbows, let your head and neck hang. And as you're hanging here in this forward fold, I want you to visualize anything negative, anything that's not serving you, any kind of thought patterns or thoughts that aren't helping you right now. Visualize them dripping out of the top of your head into the floor, and the floor will just soak up all of this negative energy and disperse it away into the ground, into the earth. So anything that you don't want to carry with you, it's literally dripping off the crown of your head onto the ground and soaking away. We'll take one last breath here. And then we'll slowly roll up to stand. So stacking the vertebrae one on top of the other. And your head will be the last thing to lift until we come all the way up. And we'll go through a slightly deeper back bend now. So I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing with my hands. I'm placing my fingers up my back, either side of my spine. Elbows squeezing back towards one another, and on an inhale, opening the heart and the throat as well up to the ceiling. Keep your core engaged here. No. Inhale, back to center. You might just want to take a little shift from side to side, take the hips from side to side, and we'll go back again. So once your spine feels a little bit recentered, hands on the lower back, and lift the chest. Lift yourself up. We're going to do one more back bend here, and we're going to take the hands into reverse prayer. So finding a prayer behind your back. Now, if this isn't possible, hold on to the elbows instead. Reverse prayer really opens into the shoulders. You want to press this prayer into your back. My arms look so weird in this position. And then we're going to do the same thing. Open the heart. You might not be able to go quite as deep. And gently bring yourself back to center. Release the hands. Roll the shoulders. We're going to come down into seated, but through a yogic squat. So take your feet slightly, I've got some wires here. Take your feet slightly wider than hip width apart and point them out to each side. And then sink down into the knees. Take your hands to heart center and come all the way down to a nice deep squat, and you're using your elbows against your knees to press them out to each side. You're trying to lengthen through the back. So if I turn to the side, you can see that my back is nice and straight. My shoulders are pulling towards one another, and my thumbs are connected with my breastbone as well. We're going to come and sit down, but try and use our core to sit down. So extending the arms forwards, start to round the spine and gently touch the pelvis down onto the floor. From here, we'll do a nice twist. So I think that's all right. So what you'll do is tuck one foot underneath your hip and step the other foot on the outside of the knee. And you want to make sure that both hips are down, so both bum cheeks on the surface on. And then you're going to wrap the opposite arm to leg around. Take the same side arm as the front leg behind you and look behind you. And you're working on lengthening up through the spine as you take this twist. Just going to see how everyone's doing. Great. So this is a twist through the whole spine, twisting in the neck, the upper body. And some of us might feel it extend right down into the hip as well. Inhale, turn back to center, lift the arms up, and we'll switch the legs. So bringing other leg, other foot down by the hip, other one on the outside of the knee. Ground both the hips down and back, and look behind. Lovely. Turning back to center, we're going to come into a wide knee child's pose. So taking your big toes together, your knees apart, sit back onto your heels, reach your arms forwards, and take your forehead to the ground or to your mat, and you're feeling yourself sinking down into this pose. The shoulders are opening. And child's pose is a very humbling pose. It's sometimes also seen as a devotional pose. So in this moment, if there is anything that you would like to devote your practice towards, it could be big, it could be small, it could be something as big as healing the world from coronavirus, it could be healing yourself from any trauma or physical things that are going on with you, or it could be something small, like maybe you just want to devote your practice to this day, this beautiful sunny day. But whatever it is, just hold that thing in your mind. Feel the hips open. Feel a sense of relaxation as your frontal lobes rest down into the floor underneath you. Taking one last breath here, and then lifting your gaze up to your hands, walking yourself up onto all fours. We're going to come into puppy dog pose. So keep your hips up and back, walk the hands forwards. This time we're taking the chest down. Taking the chest down to the ground. So this is a back bend. If you want to go deeper, place your chin on the mat or on the floor. But for some of us, chin down is a bit too intense. So if chin down is too intense, take forehead down instead. Take 2 more breaths here. And then slowly walk yourself back up onto all fours and find your trusty water bottle again. Now this one might be a little tricky to show you from this angle, so I might try and bring you down, see if this makes any difference. I might end up bringing you guys back up again. What we're going to do is, so you've got your bum back on your heels, so it's like you're in child's pose, and you're holding on to the bottle on either end. You want your elbows to be about shoulder width apart, and then you're sinking your head in between and moving the water bottle down to the ground and then back up. And you want to make this back and forward quite slow. And nice deep breaths. So we're moving the water bottle up and down. And do this one more time. Great. And then gently bring yourself to sit back on your knees. And before we come onto our back, just do a little bit of shoulder, neck, and jaw massage. And also, we're going to look very funny, but a little bit of facial yoga stretching as well, which is great. So rubbing the hands together just to make sure they're not cold, they're nice and warm. Placing the hands, first of all, just on the tops of the shoulders and giving them a nice massage. Pulling the muscle away from the bone. And taking it to the back of the neck. And then bringing your fingers round to the fronts of the ears and the jaw. So really trying to release any tension that stores there. So tension to do with our jaw is often connected to our throat chakra, which is connected to freedom of expression and communication. So if you find that you're someone like me who clenches your jaw a lot or who gets locked jaw, it's really good to like massage this space and get it moving. And last but not least, so take 2 fingers, place them in between the eyebrows and just press down here. And then gently release. And then we'll do a little bit of just facial stretching. So make like a fish face, basically like sucking the cheeks in, but try and smile at the same time. So you're engaging the muscles under the eyes that you use for smiling, but you're also bringing and we'll do it one more time. Release. And then we'll bring the eyebrows up as high as we can, and then bring them down as low as we can, and bring them up as high as we can, and down. And one more time, up and down. And then just with your fingertips, just tap along the face, bringing energy and vibrance to your face. And just gently bring yourself to lie down. And before we go into meditation, we'll just do a quick hip opening stretch on the back. So lying yourself down, and we'll find happy baby pose, which is great fun. So you want to hold on to the outsides of the feet, or wrap the arms around the backs of the knees, and you can rock from side to side. But in this pose, you really want to try and keep your pelvis, your tailbone down. So try not to let the hips lift up. So the idea is we're trying to bring the knees either side of the ribs, but still with a lengthy, long spine. And whilst you're stretching here, I'm just going to get my notes for the meditation so I know what I'm talking about. Great. Take one final breath in your happy baby. And then release the legs down long along the mat, along the floor. Take the feet to hip width apart and just let the feet fall out to the side. And take your arms slightly away from your torso, palms shining up towards the ceiling. And before we go into focusing on the chakras, heart chakra, throat chakra, and third eye chakra, just take a few deep, full breaths here in stillness and feel your muscles soften away from the bone. Feel your bones become heavy, sinking down into the surface underneath you. And when you've taken a few deep, full breaths, just allow your breath to fall into a natural rhythm. So we'll start by drawing the attention to the heart center, which hopefully feels more open after the spinal mobility and the back bends that we've done today. The heart chakra is represented by the color green. So visualize a bright green ball of light glowing brighter with each inhalation. If it helps, you can visualize a shining green emerald at your heart center. And an essential oil, a smell that can be associated with the heart center, is a peppermint. So a fresh, rejuvenating, minty smell. It's also very cleansing. And when our heart chakra is strong and balanced, we are compassionate, understanding. We have love for ourselves and others. We are empathetic. We have a sense of inner peace, and we have a strong immune system. So all things that are really, really important at this current time. And just notice whether any of those aspects of your life feel out of balance. But notice this from a place of acceptance. And with each inhalation, this emerald glow gets brighter and brighter at the heart center. And next we'll move our focus to the throat center. The throat center is represented by a beautiful, deep blue. So you can visualize a glowing sapphire at your throat, and a scent that is associated with the throat center is lavender. When our throat chakra is balanced, we are a good listener. We communicate easily and clearly. We live creatively. We speak with confidence. We enjoy to sing. We have a good sense of timing and rhythm, We express ourselves freely, and we are comfortable with our body language. We also speak our own authentic truth. So with each inhalation, the throat center glows a brighter, deeper blue. And just notice whether any of these aspects of your life feel out of balance. But notice this from a place of acceptance. And then drawing the attention up to the third eye, in between the eyebrows. The third eye chakra is represented by a lighter blue, more of a kind of purplish violet blue, and a stone that can be associated with the third eye chakra is an amethyst. A scent that can be connected to the third eye is clary sage. And the third eye is connected to our intuition. So if our third eye is balanced, we are intuitive, perhaps even some would say psychic. We are optimistic, perceptive, imaginative, watchful, aware. We have a good memory. We are seen as wise. We are able to plan and carry out plans. We sleep well. We can recall our dreams. And we have a calm mind. So just notice if any of these aspects of your life feel out of balance. Again, reassuring yourself that if they are out of balance, it is not your fault, and it is also perfectly within your power and control to bring them into balance. And visualize this bright violet blue getting brighter with each inhalation. And so now with the heart chakra glowing green, the throat chakra glowing a deep ocean blue, and the third eye chakra glowing a bright violet blue, just notice if any sensations, emotions, images, or feelings arise when you focus on these different parts of the body. And in this space of acceptance and connection with your physical body, I'll just leave you for a few moments in silence to feel into and to notice what is going on. And just gently begin to take some deeper breaths right down into the center of the body. Gently starting to introduce some movement to your hands and your feet. Maybe taking some little wrist circles and some ankle circles as well. And then lifting the arms up above the head, find a full body stretch. Point down into the feet. Make yourself as long as possible. Breathe in through your nose. And then exhale with a sigh through the mouth. Feel your throat chakra release. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with a sigh through the mouth. Inhaling, drawing your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a hug. And gently rock yourself side to side and also backwards and forwards, massaging your lower spine here. On an exhalation, roll onto your preferred side, so either side, it doesn't matter. And then slowly bring yourself up into seated. And before closing practice, we'll just do a little bit of breath work. So there's a style of breath that is often used in yoga called Ujjayi breath. This translates as victorious breath. And it's a breath that can be really helpful to connect you with your throat center, but also it can build heat in the body. So if you're ever stretching or practicing and you feel like you're a bit cold, this is a really good way to fire up the heat in the body. So you'll just breathe through your nose, and as you exhale, you partially squeeze your throat closed to create a whispering sound at the back of the throat. So it'll sound something like this. So it's almost like a light snoring sound. It's as if you had your mouth open, it would be like you were trying to fog up a mirror. So if you're going, but you want to try and make that sound with the mouth closed. It also forces you to breathe slower and longer on your exhalations, which will bring your heart rate down. You can close your eyes or keep them open. And we'll just do a few rounds of this Ujjayi breath. And with each exhalation, you can visualize the throat center glowing brighter with that kind of fiery sound that escapes. It's kind of like a fiery sound, but some people also see it as like ocean waves. So you can hear it like kind of like waves crashing onto a beach. Great. After your next exhalation, gently blink open the eyes, and we'll close with I will close with 3 ohms. So we'll inhale, lift the arms up, find prayer, and exhale, take the prayer down to heart center. We'll inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth with the sound of Om. And Om is in yogic philosophy, Om is the sound that created the universe. So it's the original vibration that allowed everything to come into being. So whether you believe in that or not, it's just a nice story, and just allow the sound to escape you. Inhale through the nose. Inhale. Oh. Last one, inhale. Oh. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I hope you feel a bit more relaxed, a bit more centered. Yeah, how's everyone feeling? If anyone wants to feedback on how they're doing.
I'm feeling really floaty, you know, very
Yes. I think that when you work on that, the higher chakras, it can make you feel a bit like, ooh, a bit, yeah, very spacey.
Yeah, definitely. And the chest openers are really great. You know, I had quite tight muscles. I did some push-ups and stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that was really, really good just to kind of open up here and open up my arms as well. I was stretching.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with being like doing pole and doing aerial, it's so shoulder and arm heavy. So this is a great time if you're not able to be doing pole and stuff to really have a chance to open the back, so you can get some deeper back bends. And we can definitely go into more heart openers, shoulder openers and stuff, because I absolutely love back bends. I think they can really like transform the way you feel. Like for me, I feel that I find them really invigorating. So yeah. Has anyone got any suggestions or anything they want to work on next week? Anything at all? I'm very open. I'm really open to suggestion.
I mean, I don't mind. I quite like doing a cycle of like lower body and then upper body.
Yeah.
Or the lower chakras, and then having other weeks for each of those. So I kind of like the pace of
that. Would be great. Well, we could focus on hips next week. We could do like some deeper hip opening stuff that you can do like in seated or on your back. And actually opening the hips is a really great way to get deeper back bends as well. So when you open the hips, particularly the fronts of the hips, you should find that you'll be able to go into back bends with a lot more ease. So they all connect. So that'll be really good. Cool. I'll do some hip focus stuff next week as well. Maybe some hamstrings as well, actually, just to tie it all in. Great. Has anyone got anything fun planned for the rest of the day? Anything nice you're doing for yourself?
Well, I'm just probably going to get on with a bit more fitness and then do some writing, I reckon.
Yeah.
It would be possible to, one of the things that I find I struggle with a lot, both on like pole and doing yoga things, and it's getting better, but like actually breathing whilst I'm holding a move.
Yes.
I find, especially if it's something I've not worked on much and I'm kind of getting used to it, I find I hold my breath a lot.
Yeah.
You know, whilst I'm so tensed up, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was wondering if actually there's any way, even in that one where you just bent your knees and we were doing the kind of forwards hang,
yes,
to focus on the breathing, but also keep my mind off thinking about the strain on the muscles or the pose. You know, I just want to kind of breathe and be relaxed in the positions.
Yeah.
And not thinking about them, if you know what I mean.
I totally understand where you're coming from, because I think when you learn anything new, the breath almost comes as like an afterthought, and it shouldn't, but I don't know whether that's the way we're taught in like movement practices in this part of the world. Yeah, I also struggle with that, and there are actually some specific breathwork exercises that come from a style of yoga called Kundalini, which have really helped me with that, and they are a lot to do with the pelvic floor and core engagement, whilst so holding your pelvic floor and your core whilst doing breathing exercises and keeping that engaged, because that's what I always struggled with, is if I would hold my core in, I would just hold my breath in. And obviously if we do that, if we're trying to do sequences or if we're trying to dance, like we're gonna pass out. So yeah, there's absolutely exercises we can do that will help you with that have helped me. I really struggle, well, at the moment I'm working on handstands, like straight handstands, and I find that when I'm there I'm just not breathing, and for that reason I can't hold it for a long time. Yeah, it's really frustrating because you're just like, I breathe all the time, why can I not breathe now when I need it the most?
Yeah, exactly. Like endurance, so like it's endurance breath work, I guess. Is that what it's, I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah. I actually like that as a name. Maybe, I might have to steal that from you as like maybe I'll put together a program.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, that's a great idea actually. Thank you.
Doing things like dish, you know, like I'm working on dish pose to kind of help strengthen core, like
yeah. Well,
getting I'm holding it, and I'm finding that like, I'm not really breathing, or I'm like not breathing properly, you know.
Well, there's actually in Kundalini yoga, you have to hold. There are certain like sequences where you have to hold dish whilst at the same time doing breath of fire, you know, the pumping of the stomach one that we do. And we'll definitely do that, because that is so hard, but once you can do that, you can breathe through anything.
That sounds great.
Cool. All right, guys, have a lovely day. Message me if you get any other ideas about things you want to do in coming weeks, and I'm happy to include them in. Bye.
Well, thank you, Tara. Bye.
Bye.